Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Brandon Hodge here, and I don't know if I should do like a fancy intro for these now, so I guess I will. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE Breaking News, episode number 2. So, welcome back to another video, I guess. So, I guess you should do a normal intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Brandon Hodge here, and welcome back to another episode of WWE Breaking News. Okay, that sounds very... I gotta get used to it. So basically, like, this series, I guess it's just something I'm gonna do every time I do this breaking news, and it's not like a news day or something like that, or a news video already went up. I've done one more episode before. It was about the whole Corey Graves stuff when the rumors were coming out. I was talking about that. But today we have some stuff to talk about. We're probably gonna talk about this for a few minutes. So, basically, I don't know if I should do this in separate. Okay, let's just do this all in one. So basically, this is just gonna be like a talk show. We're just basically gonna talk about wrestling and kind of tell you guys what's happening. If you guys don't follow WWE on Twitter, I don't know if they sent the notifications on the apps or not, but basically WWE, I mean, I guess it's on WWE.com too, but basically WWE have announced they have released 4 superstars, 3 wrestlers, and a backstage person. So I guess we'll talk about that. So the first person is Tye Dillinger. So Tye Dillinger, he announced on his Twitter that he actually announced, asked for his release. Like, he announced it to the world that before the rumors get started, I just want to tell you guys that I am asking for my release from the WWE. And I just don't want, stuff get started. I want to confirm it. I did ask for my release from the WWE. And I said in the news episode yesterday, just because you asked for a release doesn't mean you're getting it. Because the Revival asked for a release as well, but the request was denied. And I believe if they have plans for you, they're going to keep you. Or if they see potential in you, they're going to keep you. Or if there's a long period left on your contract, then they're going to keep you. So, like, Tye Dillinger, I'm not too sure how long he had left on his contract. But I could guess that it was a short period of time, or it could have been a little bit of time, but they just didn't see... they were just like, yeah, you know what, we got too many people here. I think you'd be better off somewhere else, so we're just gonna let you go, basically. But his contract has been released, so they announced that Tye Dillinger has been released from the WWE. And something interesting is normally when WWE, they release someone from the WWE, they do the whole good luck in your future endeavors or whatever. But they didn't do that. Like, they normally do that for everyone, but they didn't do that for Tye Dillinger. I don't think they did it for anyone they released to date. Maybe they did for 1 or 2 people, but I don't think they actually did. So it's kind of weird, but I don't know if it was like a nasty thing, like I hate it, or just like I don't know what happened there. But basically, Tye Dillinger was the first person. The second person is Hideo Itami. So Hideo Itami has also been released out of his contract. I believe he requested. I'm not 100% here. I believe Hideo did request to be released. I'm not sure though. His contract may have just expired and just be like, he's released, he's no longer with the WWE or whatever. But Hideo Itami is another person I've heard hasn't been happy with the WWE and stuff like that. So Hideo Itami is another person that was released today. So Hideo Itami is no longer in the WWE. Neither is Tye Dillinger. The third wrestler they released is actually TJ Perkins. I don't know if he asked for a release out of his contract, or if his contract has expired and he decided not to re-sign, or if they just freaking fired him. I don't know. But TJ Perkins is another person they announced. I didn't see this coming. Every year at some point, it's usually different every year, but at some point they kind of thin out the locker room. And I don't know if this is the thinning out, or if this is just 3 people that just got released the same day. But basically, every year they'll just kind of thin out the locker room. So I remember one day, I don't think it was last year, I think it was maybe the year before, maybe even before that, one day they announced 10 or more people that were released from the WWE just because they were thinning out the locker room. And I don't think today is the day they're thinning out the locker room. I think there's a lot more people they're planning to release, but I don't know if they're going to do that today, or if that's kind of a future thing that might not even happen within the next few months. I don't know. Just one thing before I end this video or whatever. I do want to go on Twitter to make sure, because they've been announcing new people randomly that they're releasing. Those 3 were just random times they announced it. I just don't want to end this video and then have them announce someone else. And yeah. So I think that's all they're gonna announce today. So I believe that's it for actual wrestlers. But they did release a backstage person. This is just crazy. So Arn Anderson, hopefully you all are familiar with him. If you're not, Arn Anderson was in the 4 Horsemen. So just that kind of clears it up. I mean, he was a wonderful wrestler, obviously a retired wrestler, older wrestler, but basically he was like working backstage, I believe, and he was like, I'm not sure exactly what his role was back there, if it was helping with storylines or like a producer, or just kind of just helping out whatever, however he can or whatever. Basically, he didn't have like a performing contract. I guess he had like I don't know if he had a Legends contract or like some kind of like backstage producing contract or something. Whatever it is, they released him out of that contract and they've released him from the WWE. So Arn Anderson is no longer in the WWE. So that's 4 people they have released today from the WWE. I mean, I completely understand like 100% why they're releasing people or why people are requesting to be released. Like from the wrestler side, like I am sitting here backstage all the time. Like I have to be here backstage for every show and they never use me. Like, why am I here? Why do I have to be here? Or some people are just sitting at home. They're like, I work for WWE. I cannot wrestle anywhere else. I cannot do anything else. So I'm basically sitting here waiting on a phone call that I'm never going to get. So it's just kind of like a self-worth thing. Like, do I feel like I'm a wrestler who should just be sitting at home and not wrestling? No, I'm a wrestler. I want to wrestle. And hopefully, like, when they ask for their release out of their contract, WWE understands, like, you guys, from their perspective, you guys aren't using me. Why are you guys like torturing me and making me stay here or whatever? And then from like WWE's perspective, like there's only, like, I understand from a booking perspective, like there's only so much we can do. Like we have so many like top stars in the WWE. Like WWE is like, for the most part, the place where the greatest wrestlers in the entire world go. And I know that's not exactly the case anymore in the past few years, but like in general, like they have like amazing wrestlers, and like if you're a wonderful wrestler, WWE is interested in you, then look to like sign you. And of course, if you're like doing better on your own than you think you would ever do in WWE, you just wouldn't do that. But that's just like something in the past few years. Like people are actually making more money outside of WWE now than they are in WWE. But anyway, my point is there's just so much like great talent in WWE that they're not using. Like if we just look at like NXT compared to like the main roster, like NXT, there's not that many superstars down there, right? And like everyone kind of gets their like chance to shine, and they're like in the main event and having these wonderful matches and stuff. And I'm not talking about just like right now. I'm talking like way back. Like let's say, oh gosh, I don't remember when this was, 2016, 2017 or something. Like for example, someone like Tyler Breeze. So Tyler Breeze, like no disrespect or anything to him, but he's a freaking like joke on like the main roster. Like we look to NXT, in comparison, he was actually in the main event for the NXT Championship, closing the shows out. And then he goes over to the main roster, and most of the time he's not even on TV, and when he's on TV, maybe it's a pre-show match, maybe it doesn't even make it to TV, maybe it's just something crazy or stupid. It's just something like that. Like Tyler Breeze is just like a person that had a lot of potential, and he showed that potential in NXT, and then he goes to the main roster and it doesn't work. Same thing with Bobby Roode. He was like main event, obviously NXT champion. NXT comes up, when he first came up there was some like spotlight and like hype around him and stuff like that, but then it fades away and then it's just down. Like yes, he's been the tag champ, but let's say like overall the time he's been up there, he hasn't been doing that much. Same thing with Nakamura. Nakamura was like a freaking god in NXT. He's like, holy crap. And the same thing with like Bobby Roode's entrance. Like Nakamura and Bobby Roode's entrance, just phenomenal. Like the crowd all into it, like so excited, just having a great time, and they're main eventing, and Nakamura's just like a god in NXT. And then he comes up to the main roster, he does pretty well for a while, but then he just like is falling down the card for like in certain like situations, certain times. And since he's been in the main roster, he's been kind of treated like a jobber, or he's been in the mid card. It hasn't been like a main event thing. I mean, like this is something someone pointed out. Like last year, 2018, right? He won the Royal Rumble. This year, he was on the pre-show of the Royal Rumble. It's just like my point here is, for this like long ass like story, is basically WWE, they don't have like room for everyone, and they cannot like put everyone in the main event that deserves to be the main event. And this is the same thing with like a Dean Ambrose or something. Like Dean Ambrose, maybe personally he feels like he's a main event guy and he's like the greatest wrestler, and like he has the fan base, he has the merch sales to prove it. But like there's just so many people, there's just not room. It's like you're mid card, and you know, like sometimes, like I mean obviously like he's got a better run since the heel return, but just like before, he was just like some shows he might not even like like most shows he has been on, but some shows he might not like be doing like a great thing on. It might just be like a short little thing that he's there and he's just like not on the rest of the show or something.
Watch your mouth about Dean.
Watch my mouth about Dean. Well, it's nothing to do with Dean. It's to do with WWE's like booking. There's just like too many like great stars. Like it's just hard. Like everyone has great potential, but they don't have room for everyone to be like on top. But I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about a main event star that might just drop to mid-card, get like the Intercontinental Championship or the Universal not the Universal Champion, I'm going to say the United States Championship, like the 2 mid-card titles there. I'm talking like someone that could drop way below that and just be like not being used. Like Nakamura, like he was a star in NXT, now it's just like what the hell. And I believe that is another person who has asked for their like actual release for the contract, and we might see WWE make the tweet here soon that Shinsuke Nakamura has been released out of his WWE contract, and maybe he'll be joining AEW or going back to New Japan or something. My point here is, with this like long-ass video, is like, I completely understand why wrestlers want to be released. I completely understand if they just like didn't ask for the release and they just get basically like fired, just like released out of the contract, like bye. Just like there's not enough for WWE. You need to stop signing talent just to sign talent. And like, if there's like not enough room on the main roster, some of these people are like just way better off in NXT, like doing amazing stuff in NXT. But it's just like a tough situation. Like, I don't think they should just be signing people to sign people. I think they should only be signing people that they see like main event potential or like something good. Like, you're not gonna take like, don't take like a main event person from like New Japan or ROH or something and then sign them and then they're not even being used. You know what I mean, guys? It's just absolutely crazy. But anyway, that's my opinion on it. You guys can let me know your opinion down below. This wasn't supposed to be today's video. I was actually going to do a live stream today, which I might still do. Probably will still do. But I just saw this stuff on Twitter. I'm like, I have an opinion to share about this. Like, I completely understand. I know some people might be upset by some of those release people, but at the same time, they weren't being really like used that much, so they might not have that many fans in the WWE. But anyway, absolutely crazy. But that's basically it for this episode of WWE Breaking News. I think this is kind of like an interesting format to take like one news story and just kind of talk to you guys about it for like a few minutes. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long episode. They might be 5-10 minutes. Sometimes they might be longer. They might be 15 minutes of just talking about one subject. I think it's kind of interesting. Just kind of like dive in and get really like specific and really detailed and just kind of talk about it. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, even though it was just kind of like a rambling video. But you know, we can continue this discussion down in the comments, and you guys can let me know what you think, and we can talk about stuff. And of course, if you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. It's absolutely free. On Sunday, I'm having an amazing video coming out. It's going to be about a book that WWE has not released yet, that they're actually letting me do a video about before they release it. It's called the WWE Cookbook, so it's going to be very funny. It's going to be amazing. And I would appreciate if you guys check that out. But
your segment's the best one.
Your segment's the best one. Michelle's gonna have her own segment, so make sure you skip past that. But thanks for watching, guys. And if you, I'm just playing Michelle. I'm just playing Michelle. Yours is the best. Yours is the best. Whatever you want. I'll get you ice cream or something. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you give this video a like. And if you're on the channel, make sure to subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.